Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to tell you about an amazing product, and do you know what, I don't even use the word amazing lightly. It is amazing. In fact, it even says magic in a bottle on the packaging, and it really is. I've been trying out this Meraki Facial Oil for about 6 weeks now, and I'm so impressed with the results. Just a little bit of a backstory before I get into it. The whole reason I started blogging is because my one area of concern has always been my dark circles. In fact, if my dark circles weren't as bad as they are, you'd see me with no makeup on a lot more often than I already do. But they've always just been my one problem area, if you like. And as you may know if you've been following me for a while, I've tried so many creams, gels, oils, correctors, potatoes, cucumbers, all sorts of veg, face masks, you name it, I've tried it, and nothing really works. I mean, correctors are all very well and good. They help to correct any pigmentation or darkness under the eyes, but it's not a long-term fix. And of course it only works when you're wearing makeup, and I would love to be that person that can just roll out of bed, wash their face, and still look half decent. But no, unfortunately that's not me. And if I'm being completely honest, I don't think there's a product out there at all that just gets rid of dark circles. There are so many causes of dark circles, so it could be hereditary, it could be your body health, it could just be genetics, lifestyle, how much water you drink. There's just so many things to take into consideration when people have dark circles, and it's not always just because they're lacking in sleep or they're really tired or whatever. So anyway, before I go off on one, I actually wanted to talk to you about this product. This was sent to me by RAJI, who's also a YouTuber. I believe her YouTube name is Makeup by RAJI. If you haven't subscribed already, I highly recommend you go and check her channel out. I was watching her for years before I started my YouTube channel, and I just think it's so amazing how far she's come. She's actually recently set up a company called Bian, and she set it up with her husband, and they've got 2 products out at the moment, the Meraki Facial Oil and another oil called Hair Beast. She very kindly sent me both products out, but unfortunately the Hair Beast isn't suitable for my hair. But from what I've seen with the before and after pictures, that is also an amazing product. It really helps to thicken hair and help it grow back, and that is definitely not something that I need. By the way, I've actually put my hair up in this weird thing. I don't know if it looks alright, but it's such a hot day. I mean, it's 31 degrees outside. We're in the middle of September. It's meant to be autumn. I don't know what's going on. So if I look a little bit glowy, it isn't glow, it's sweat. But I've had to lock myself in this room and shut all the windows and doors just to keep the noise out as much as possible. But anyway, I'm going to try and insert some pictures here of what my dark circles used to look like. And these are literally all just screenshots that I've taken from previous videos. There's been no editing whatsoever, just in case someone doubts what I'm saying, because sometimes I know there's always that one person. So feel free to go back through my previous makeup tutorials and have a look for yourself. My dark circles used to be really dark, and of course I still have dark circles. Like I said, I don't think there's anything that really removes them completely, but I've actually noticed within the first week, and I'm not even exaggerating, that by using this oil morning and night, my dark circles have lightened. Now of course the difference at first was so minor that I honestly thought nobody else would see it, and if you follow me on Snapchat you'll know that Monday to Friday, unless I'm filming or going out, I never wear makeup. And I've actually had a couple of people message me on there to say that your dark circles look lighter. What have you been doing? Have you got corrector on? Have you got concealer on? What's going on? And so I didn't really want to talk about the product too much at first, because I really wanted to see if it works for myself. I didn't want to say to everyone, go out and buy it, it's amazing. Because of course I need to see if it breaks me out, if my skin reacts to it. I don't want everyone going out and wasting their money on a product that isn't going to work for them, that's going to break them out, that's going to ruin their skin and all the rest of it. So I always try to give myself a 4 to 6 week testing period when it comes to any type of skincare, and I've done just that. I've actually even had people on Snapchat message me to ask me what product I've been using, and I've told them about it. They've gone out and bought it, and within a couple of weeks they've messaged me to say, oh my god, it's amazing, it's actually working. And I mean, I didn't design the product, it's not my product, but it's just such a nice feeling when someone comes back to you and tells you that, especially because that was one of my biggest goals when starting my blog, was to try and find a cure, if you like, for dark circles. But anyway, moving on to the actual product itself, I have the 50ml bottle, and it also comes in the 20ml, which is perfect for travelling, or even if you just want to try it out yourself and you don't want to spend a lot of money on a bigger product. But the 50ml retails for £35, which I think is amazing considering you can use it on your face and under your eyes, and I feel like the average price for a good moisturiser is around about the £30 mark anyway. And as you can see, I'm not sure you'll be able to tell, I've literally only used up to that that much. I don't even think that's 10 ml of product, and I've literally been using it for 6 weeks, like I said, morning and night. So it will last you such a long time, which is amazing. The packaging is very sophisticated, not that you really care when a product's this good. It comes in a glass bottle, but it also comes with a pipette, so you can literally just use 1 or 2 drops, as much as you need. I tend to find that 1 to 2 drops is more than enough to cover my whole face and under my eye area. Now this oil is 100% natural and pure. It contains loads of things that I can't pronounce, so I'll leave all the information down below in the description box. But I feel like the only negative to having something this natural and pure is possibly the scent of it. I'm not going to lie, I was a little bit shocked at first when I opened it. It's a very overpowering scent, and it kind of does linger. That's just one thing to take into account when you're using this oil. But I will say that you do get used to it. I can't actually describe what it smells like. I've heard people say it kind of smells like sweets or fruit. I don't think it's sweet at all. It's quite almost unpleasant, but that is the only negative to this oil. But I can totally see past that for all the good stuff that it actually does to my skin. Anyway, so moving on to how I use it, I use 1 to 2 drops in the morning because I don't want my skin to look too greasy, but I want it to be hydrated enough and just look a little bit glowy. They actually advise you to use it on damp skin, and I will admit that sometimes I actually forget to do that. So if I have my Smashbox priming water to hand or my MAC Fix Plus, I will literally just spritz that on my face. Normally that's because I always start off with my brows, and then I'm just too lazy to go back to the bathroom to go and wet my face. So that's just how I cheat a little bit. But I think the reason they ask you to put it on damp skin is because it's a very, very thick oil. It doesn't leave your skin looking greasy per se, but I find that when you apply it on damp skin, it really helps to smooth it out evenly without using too much product. But at the same time, it's really hydrating, and it kind of plumps up your skin and makes it feel really, really soft. As well as dark circles, it does help with all sorts of pigmentation and scarring. And I've actually noticed that I used to have a lot of pigmentation around the corners of my mouth, and sometimes concealer alone wouldn't get rid of it. I'd also have to use a corrector, and actually I've noticed that that area has lightened up too. In fact, I hardly even use concealer around my mouth. I haven't got any on today, and I just think this oil is incredible. Before I forget, I actually wanted to tell you that I have a discount code for this. I can't believe I forgot to mention that earlier, but basically I think it works on anything on their website. So currently, as far as I know, they only have the Meraki and the Hair Beast, but they are working on some new products, which is very, very exciting. So if you are interested in any of their oils, and I'll leave my discount code on screen now, and I think you get 10% off, even on the travel size one. So I think it's a really good way of trying new things out and also adding some cute little minis to your collection. Because I don't know about you, but I love collecting mini travel size samples. I've got such a big hoard that I really need to start using one of these days. Oh my god, I'm back. I had to go and stick my head out the window like a dog because it is way too hot to film in here. But anyway, the last thing I wanted to say was, if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that the only corrector I swear by is this Bobbi Brown corrector, and this one is in the shade Deep Peach. And this is literally the only corrector that's ever worked for me, and I'm always, very unsuccessfully, trying to find a dupe for it. So anyway, for the past couple of weeks, I noticed that my corrector and my concealer weren't really working for me, and I couldn't figure out why. I thought it might just be my concealer, because I always refuse to believe that anything's ever wrong with my corrector. So I went to the Bobbi Brown counter, and I spent ages with the lady trying out all their concealers, but loads of different shades, because I said to her, look, I don't want to change my corrector, it's the only one that works for me, so I need to find a concealer that goes with it. So she tried all of their concealers and nothing really worked, and then finally she was like, why don't you want to change your corrector? Because I've got a feeling it's a bit too dark for you. So I was like, no, it can't be true. Like, I've been using this for almost 2 years. And she was like, no, honestly, I think you need a lighter shade. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a go. Like, I don't see anything wrong with my corrector, but okay, if you say so. So instead of Deep Peach, which is basically all I've ever worn, she tried Dark Peach. And you know what? It just worked. It was completely perfect. And she even said, I think someone matched you up incorrectly last time. And because I love the product so much, I never get matched up. I literally just go out and repurchase it every time. And so yeah, I bought it, not knowing any different. I took it home, and that's when the penny dropped. I was like, hang on, I've been saying that my dark circles have lightened, and it's all very well me saying it and me being able to see it, because obviously I look at my face a lot closer than anybody else would ever. Like, nobody would stand this close to me and look at my face. But I think that the fact that I went down a shade in the corrector actually speaks volumes as to how amazing this oil is. I'm so impressed with this, and actually, like I said at the beginning, I honestly don't think it will get rid of my dark circles completely. I don't actually think anything will do that, but I'm just so happy with the results. This is something that I just know I'm going to repurchase forever and ever and ever, and I really just wanted to share this with you guys because you guys ask me so many questions about dark circles all over my social media and in the comments, and I feel like this time I can actually say, do you know what, this product is amazing. So I highly recommend you give it a go and use my discount code so you can save a little bit of money. And if you don't feel like you want to splurge on the full size, try out the little one because I feel like it's going to last you a very long time. But I really hope you found this video helpful and informative. Please leave me any questions you have down below and I'll try my very best to answer them. But thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye!